Welcome back, third graders. I hope your Christmas break was absolutely wonderful. Today, day one of our reading lesson is going to be an online article. And I'm sure you've seen these in the past when we've ended a unit. There is an article, it's a digital article for Time for Kids. So we are ending our Unit 3 study. So we've been studying that for about 6 weeks. And so we're going to spend the first 3 days of this week reviewing over things that we have learned. And then on Friday, we're going to take our unit assessment. So I want you to take a look at this article here, Saving Our Oceans. Notice that there are headings. Here are some illustrations, some captions. Of course, illustrations are pictures, caption is text about the picture or illustration. There's more headings, more illustrations, more caption. If you'll notice down here, we have something that is highlighted in, well, it's blue. It's not necessarily highlighted, and it's underlined. And when I hover over that with my cursor, you notice that something pops up. There's a web address down there. Well, if I click on that, that is going to take me somewhere else, or it's supposed to. There it goes. And we call those hyperlinks. So when we're reading digital copies, they can give you places, other places to go, sites to do your research if you need it, or just for more information. So that was called a hyperlink. So what I need you to do now is get your copy of your Time for Kids article, Saving Our Oceans. If you need to pause the video while you're gathering your materials, please do so. Also, I want you to grab your organizer, and I'm going to show you right here. I want you to get this as well, and a pencil. And that will be all you'll need for this lesson. So just go ahead and pause and then we'll get started. Okay, let's listen closely as I read aloud. You can follow along on your article. Saving our oceans. One woman is working to save our oceans the simple way, by protecting them. Sylvia Earle is a marine scientist. She is worried about the oceans. For more than 50 years, she has observed them, dived into them, and written about them. But now Earle is using her knowledge to help save them. Ahead of her time. Sylvia Earle was born in 1935 in New Jersey. When she was a young girl, she lived to hike in the woods with her family. She learned about the animals that lived there. She learned to respect them. Then, when she was 13 years old, her family moved to Florida. There she fell in love with the ocean and the animals that lived in and around it. Living near the ocean made Earle very happy. While attending college in Florida, she learned to scuba dive. She knew exactly what she wanted to do. Earle wanted to spend the rest of her life studying the ocean. She started her work in marine science in the 1950s. She also spent thousands of hours under the sea. She even created a world record for the deepest dive without being tied to a boat with a tether or a long rope. So here we are. It's an actual picture of her diving in the Sargasso Sea. Gives shelter to hundreds of species in the heart of the Atlantic Ocean. Earle is working to keep it clean and healthy. So that's a picture of her. Oceans in trouble. Most of Earle's life has been spent underwater. She loves studying the plants and animals that live there. She once said, "Every time I slip into the ocean, it is like going home." Because of her dedication and love of the sea, Earle learned many important things. She discovered that Earth's oceans are in danger. Earle believes that the oceans are at risk. She says there are 3 reasons why they are in trouble. The first reason is because people love to eat fish. So many fishermen are catching fish for people to eat. As a result, there are less and less fish swimming around in the ocean. And this is a problem. Pollution is another big problem. Pollution in our oceans hurts both fish and coral reefs, or underwater communities, made of tiny animals called coral. When people dump chemicals into the sea, it kills fish and coral. Earl discovered, oh, I'm sorry, I discovered that water pollution is putting coral reefs at risk for becoming extinct. That means these beautiful communities will no longer be around to protect our shores and feed fish. Pollution is a big problem for life in the ocean, but Earl says the worst problem is temperature change. Oceans are getting warmer, and this causes a change in what grows in the water. Earl believes this warming of the water will eventually kill off all the coral. She doesn't want to see what happens, so she is working hard to save them. Parks of the sea. Earl is focused on protecting the oceans. Her idea was to create special areas that are safe for ocean life. There are parks on land where animals and plants in the land they live on are safe. The oceans deserve same protection. As a result, Earl created a group called Mission Blue. Mission Blue is a group that works to teach people about the oceans and why they are at risk. Mission Blue hopes to protect Earth's sea. They want to see the plants, sea animals, and coral grow and be healthy. When Earl talks about creating these protected areas, she describes sanctuaries or safe places. In these places, fishing would not be allowed. Because of Earl's work, people are starting to pay attention to the problem of the sea. There is no other planet, she says, no water anywhere else. We have to save this. And of course, you can go here at that hyperlink I was telling you earlier and read more about Sylvia Earle and her work in protecting the ocean. Now, if you have access a device where you can access your textbook online, you can always go in there and reread this yourself. And of course, here are some more information or tabs that you can go and learn more about her. Okay, so what I want us to talk about first is summarizing, because that's what we've been working on through since we started third grade, actually. So we've been working on summarizing for a long time. But I want you to take out your graphic organizer. Now, I don't want you to use what I have, because I'm just going to model how you should use your graphic organizer. I don't want you to copy it because I want you to do something different. So you can write me a summary of this article. Okay. So what you're going to do as far as a problem, the problem that you're going to write about is saving our oceans. Now you can write this down, okay? Because I'm not going to uh, write down the events here for that. So how you're going to go back and look in your article, how can we save our oceans? And then what is the solution? So I want you to write a summary of the article stating what problems are facing the oceans and what Sylvia Earle is doing to solve them. Okay, so we read lots about that. So you're going to go in there and if you need to reread or just read portions, that's fine too. So that's your assignment for this article. Now, I also want to talk just a little bit about the article before I release you to do your work. And let's look at the headings. How do the headings help you know what each section is about? Well, for example, ahead of her time. Well, this is talking about, how she grew up, how her love for, how she became exposed to the sea life. When she moved from New Jersey all the way down to Florida, and she just fell in love. Of course, right here, oceans in trouble. So that's really what the whole focus of this article is about, is saving the ocean. And this talks about the troubles. So you want to really read this closely, because that's what you're going to be talking about in your summary. And then, of course, here at the end, Parks of the Sea, it's how she is coming up to try to save the ocean, a solution she came up with. Why do you think the author added the hyperlinks? Why would they put that in there? What do you think that? Well, to give you more information. I hope that's what you were thinking, because if when I clicked on it earlier and you just saw how there was tons and tons of information there. So that would be why the author would want to put in those hyperlinks. So now you're going to go ahead, take the time to reread the article, study it closely, complete your graphic organizer, have it complete. Then, if you have a writing journal, then you can use your writing journal. If you do not have a writing journal, then you will just use your piece of notebook paper. So I want you to look here how I had this my paper headed. So I have a place for my name. The assignment, your assignment is Summary of Saving Our Oceans, the date, and then your teacher's name. Don't forget to indent when you write your summary. Make sure the first letter of your sentence is capitalized. Make sure you use punctuation at the end of the sentence. And if you don't know how to spell a word, look it up. You want to do your best work here. Okay? All right. Good luck. Y'all did a great job for the first day back at reading. I will see you tomorrow.